Hey, Johnnie Roberts, welcome back to your podcast. How are you feeling today, sir?
Doing good. Welcome to what, 2025?
Yes, can you
New
believe
year.
it? We made it. I,
Yes.
I remember the big scares all around Y2K, and that was like forever ago. That was 25 years ago, right? Y2K, the
Isn't
year
that crazy, man? It
2000.
seems like yesterday the world was going to end, computers would be done, and here we are doing Zooms and
That's
podcasts.
right. That's right. Shows you what man knows, right? Well, speaking of
Time
what
time flies, man. It's unbelievable.
Oh, it does. It does. And that's all the more reason, I guess, why we do these things is because, if you don't plan for a retirement, time's going to fly and you're going to find yourself, 50, 60 years old, not with no retirement. And part of that is what I want to talk about today is life insurance as part of a retirement plan and gaining a new mindset on life insurance because I think a lot of people really they misunderstand it. They're like, why do I want life insurance? I don't want it. It's a cost. It doesn't do anything. And I think you can help us understand and give us really a new mindset on life insurance. Talk to us about that and how it plays into a good, solid retirement.
Well, I think like we talked about last week, right? We did the old Swiss Army knife
Yeah, yeah,
concept of retirement, right? Having something that has all kinds of, man, you never know when you're gonna need that stupid screwdriver on that Swiss Army knife, or
that's
you're gonna
right.
need to have that little knife, or remember the little scissors that are on there that hardly well, with that, you really can't cut
Yeah,
anything with them, but they
it's
got
too
them on there for
thick and
a
yeah,
reason. But um, so having all these different tools in place, and what's been cool is some of these retirement products, because that's what this is, right? It's a
yeah,
product tool that
yeah,
you purchase or get to put in your retirement or everyday life. Even if you're, no matter
yeah,
what age you are, life insurance needs to be part of your financial plan, of course. But so basically, they think of life insurance now as different than it used to be. What are the basic benefits of it? Well, number one, of course, you pay a small amount per month to get a uh, big bang of money. Unfortunately, it's whenever you
hmm,
die. Generally, that was the old school, right? I pay a
right,
little bit of money, so when I die, my family's going to get X amount of dollars um, to cover burial, whatever it may be. It's also tax free,
yeah,
right? So that's the benefit of it. So if the benefit's $25,000, your family is going to get $25,000. They're not going to get $25,000 minus 20% taxes or whatever. So
right,
it's one of the few tax free things out there. So that was the general initial concept of life insurance. Well, since then, there's been a lot of things that have been added to life insurance that have made it even more of a valuable and important tool to have. Not only death benefit part, but some of it can supplement retirement with income payouts,
hmm,
tax free. Um, you can get living benefits to where if you have to go to a nursing home or need chronic health, chronic illness care or critical illness care, where it can pay you money as well from life insurance.
yeah,
So they've kind of taken supplemental retirement concepts, death benefit, critical chronic illness, and they've done the old what we like to call the bundle deal, right? You've all seen those
right.
commercials, bundle
Oh yeah,
everything together. And so um, that's kind of what's happened. So now most life insurance policies have bundled
yeah,
your death benefit, the tax-free advantage of it, possible potential tax-free retirement income, and living benefits all into it.
yeah,
So now you can have this one vehicle that has bundled things that are going to be very important because tax savings is huge,
yeah,
supplemental income is huge, and illness, chronic critical illness benefits are huge as we get older, as
yeah.
well as the death benefit. So taking a look at what all that can kind of do in life insurance, the old bundle my programs together, as they
Yeah.
talk about in all these commercials, a lot of commercials on insurance companies. I mean, usually it's homeowners and all this kind of stuff, but think of it that way now with life insurance, man. You can bundle some things together that
Hmm.
all come together on these products.
That's a really neat analogy, Johnny. I never really thought about it that way. But yeah, all the typical insurance companies, do bundling your house, your car, your boat, put them all together, and you save money, right? And that's really what you can do with the right type of life insurance policy as part of a retirement plan is bundle not just death benefit and inheritance. That's what everybody kind of thinks of. I'm going to leave money to my kids, but also that living benefit, being able to pay for some long-term care should you need it out of the monies that are in that life insurance policy, instead of purchasing a separate long-term care policy that many times is just too expensive, it's bundled into a properly structured life insurance policy. So that's a really neat way to talk about it. I've never heard anybody talk about it quite that way, as bundling. That's what the insurance companies have done, right?
Yeah, so I've also going to start a ad firm, I think now, and start running my own ads. How's that
I
sound? Look at
like.
no, but I stole it from them. But yeah,
I
it
think
is
it's
true. If you
great.
think about it, things like that, things that are important because the market's more competitive. So insurance companies and all these places, over time, they have to be competitive. They can't just offer the old school, pay this bit when you die, you're going to get this little bit of money, and that's all there is. You know, things are going on out there, so they are competitive. So they update products, they look at things that people have needs for, and they try to. As any business, they want to sell you jeans that are cool, right?
Yeah, that's right.
They're not going to market clothes that are from 30 years ago no one wears. Insurance companies are going to market things now that
Yeah,
are cool, that are out there, that people are realizing I need this. So they put that part of their products now, which is really good for the consumer, which is us, to be able to take a look at and be like, man, that checks off a lot of them keys in that Swiss Army knife. You know what I mean? That does take care of a few of those things.
yeah,
And if you look at life insurance a different way, look at it as buying a pot of money. Okay, because we look at
okay,
it, don't look at it as a bill. Look at it as, okay, I'm buying a pot of money. We'll use $100,000. So it costs me $2,000 a year. I don't know, for $100,000. So I have just bought $100,000. That's either going to go to me if I get sick, or maybe want to supplement some, depending on the type of policy, income,
yeah,
or it's going to go to my family. So I'm putting a little bit that instantly turns into $100,000 for death or illness, and over time can build up for retirement income as well. So I'm buying a pot of money. If you look at it that way, not just as I got to pay my insurance bill, look at it
yeah.
as part of a plan. Part of that plan is to make this $2,000 a month worth this amount of money if something bad happens.
Yeah, it's interesting. Again, dude, you need to start that agency. I've never heard anybody talk about buying a pot of money. We always talk about the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? That's never there. But this way, you can buy a pot of money. It's going to be guaranteed to be there, unlike going to Vegas and gambling two or three, $4,000, hoping to win. This is a contractual agreement that says if you pay us $2,000 a year, or whatever it is, we will give you $100,000 at this date when you die, or at this date, or something like that. It's a done deal. And usually, and you know better than I do, you're not going to pay $100,000 for that $100,000. You're going to pay $20,000 or 30. I don't know what it is, but you're going to pay a lot less for that pot of gold because it's down the road and it's for a specific purpose. But am I getting it, or am I messing that up?
Oh, you're exactly right. That's what you're doing. You're taking a look at my planning and being like, okay, I know if, say, long-term care is an issue to me and my family. I'm concerned
Yeah.
about that. So
Sure.
let's take a look at a pot of money that you can dive into in case you need help with assisted living or something along those lines. So this is the amount of money that I feel comfortable with, 200,000, three, whatever it is. This is a pot of money over here now. I'm going to pay a little bit every month, not
Yeah.
just to build up that pot from scratch, but the pot's already filled. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just making sure I have access to that pot of money for the rest of my life. So as long as I pay that premium, I'm going to have access to that pot of money for illness or death. And don't
Mm-hmm.
think of it as a bill, like I said, like I got the insurance bill coming due. Think of it as part of an overall planning investment in you, family, to protect yourself from certain things. So these are different type of plans. So I mean, you sit down, you
Yeah.
specify one that fits your needs, and these plans can do all this.
Yeah.
So some people might just say, hey, I want to make sure I got $250,000 for the next 10 years to make sure the house is paid off. Cool. But there's also other plans that can do so much more if we take a look at it. Once again, I always talk about making your dollars more valuable than what they say they're worth. So if it's
Mm.
$2,000 you pay out, if you just put it in the bank to save it, it's worth $2,000. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the bank to save it for long-term care. Okay.
Yeah.
But that $2,000 is worth $2,000. But with life insurance, that $2,000 can be worth $100,000 once you pay
Yes.
that first time.
Right.
So I've instantly made this multiplied by, I don't know, 20 times, whatever that is,
Lots.
equal. $100,000. I made it more valuable, so it's
Yeah.
advantageous to me. And so kind of look at it that way, not just as a bill, but like,
I,
I can make my money more powerful, which is what
yeah.
I want, right? We want to have things that are going to be guaranteed and make our stuff more valuable, make what we have more valuable without it costing us extra money. We're just
Right.
gonna put that money in the bank anyway to save it.
Well,
So if we put it over here into this plan, man, it's increased its amount, incredibly high amount for what
right.
I put into it.
And at the same time, you're reducing stress and anxiety and worry because the money's there guaranteed. If something happens to you, it's there. It's not like you're having to save it and maybe I can save it over the next 5 or 10 or 15, 20 years. No, it's already there. You're buying the access to that money should something happen to you. And guess what? If something doesn't happen to you, you just die of natural causes, the money's going to be there anyway, right? And so it's a neat concept. We're going to have to come back, I think, and talk about this pot of gold idea of buying a pot of gold for little today and having access to it, because you mentioned 2 or 3 ways to access that money, and it's all tax free. And we could talk about, and maybe we should, how to not only use life insurance to plan for retirement, but how to set up your children and grandchildren, how to pay for college, things of that nature. All of these ways that people could leverage it as part of the retirement plan. And if none of that takes place, great, you got more money to give to. There are so many ways that the insurance companies have bundled this product and made it so much better. It's like going out and buying a car for your wife for Christmas. You're probably not going to go out and buy her a Model T or a VW Bug. You're going to buy her something nice,
Better
right?
make sure that baby has heated seats up here in Michigan. Yesterday,
That's right.
I had to go to the eye doctor yesterday for a follow up, and so it was cold out up here, and she had to drive because they had to mess with my eyes. So she drove me home, and she's like, "It's chilly in this." And I got this big old Silverado 1500 truck, so she's driving it, and I said, "Turn on the heated steering wheel." So
Yeah.
I didn't know this had this, so I pushed the button. She never drives it. She don't like it's so big for her, but she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get anything that doesn't have a heated steering wheel." And it's like, so if I ever go to get her a car, I better be like, because she has a
Yeah.
Jeep, older Jeep that she loves, but um, she's like, I better make sure I get a heated steering wheel again. It is
Oh
pretty
yeah.
cool. You turn that thing on, it's like, oh wow.
Oh,
So,
wow.
but yeah, just like you're
Um,
saying, man, you can't go back to buying, you know,
yeah.
30-year-old
Well,
car for your wife once they have a taste of some of this other stuff.
that's right. You don't go backwards. And when you get a taste of life insurance and you get a new mindset on life insurance and what it can do for you, it's not the end all be all for everything, right? But it is part, or should be part of most people's retirement plan because it can do so many things, like that Swiss Army knife we were talking about. So I'm sure, Johnny, we are going to come back and talk more about life insurance. And in fact, maybe next time we can talk about some more of those hidden features like that Swiss
Yeah,
Army knife. Because
I think we'll do that because last quick point is think about this all in one place. I have a heart attack, I have a stroke, I get cancer, I need assisted living help at home or wherever I may be. Where do I go? I just have another resource now that I can turn to, that pot of money that man can help me in that time of need. Do I need to get into it? Maybe not. I don't know. But it's
right,
just, once again, insurance companies' job, what we use them is to take the burden off our shoulders and give it to somebody else. I'm going to
yeah,
pay you a little bit of money every month, so the burden's off my shoulders. So when
absolutely,
when it all hits the fan, I'm looking at you.
that's
I'm
right,
not looking at my own bank account, right? Like,
that's right,
oh no, man, what am I going to do? I'm looking at somebody else. So that's the concept of the life insurance in general: is get it off your shoulders, put it on somebody else's, is
yeah.
what our mindset should be. So that's it. But we'll get into that later on for sure.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Welcome to 2025. This is going to be a great year, and keep listening to Retire at New Heights with Johnnie Roberts. Reach out to him, see how he can help you understand more about life insurance, more about setting up a better, stronger retirement plan so that you can retire at new heights. Johnny, thanks for doing this. It's always good to talk to you.
Thank you, Mike. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and like.
Absolutely, absolutely.